Welcome back to Beyond the Known. It's incredible to think this is actually the final deep dive in our Timeless Egypt series.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, think about everything we've covered, right? It's been amazing. All this time we've been exploring, the incredible history and culture of ancient Egypt.
Right.
But today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to shift our perspective. We're not just looking back, at what was.
Yeah.
We're going to look at its presence today. Like, how does ancient Egypt still shape our world? What is its eternal legacy?
It really is amazing to think about. I mean, this is a society that flourished thousands of years ago.
Right.
And we're still feeling its influence.
Absolutely. And I think a great place to start is with, the very foundation of ancient Egypt. So around 3100 BCE, Upper and Lower Egypt unified.
Right.
And it wasn't just some political event.
Oh, yeah.
This marked the beginning of one of the most stable and long-lasting societies in human history.
Absolutely.
Over 3,000 years.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it wasn't just luck, right? I mean, they had systems in place that allowed them to flourish for so long. They established core elements of governance. And these became models for future societies. A centralized administration to manage their vast territory, a system of taxation to fund their ambitious projects, organized labor for agriculture, and, all those incredible construction projects. And, of course, they were meticulous record keepers.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's interesting because when you look at their concept of centralized governance, it really raises questions that are still being debated today in political science.
Yeah.
This tension between efficiency and individual liberty.
Yeah.
They were dealing with those same issues thousands of years ago.
It's incredible. And underpinning all of this was the concept of ma'at, this idea of cosmic balance and order. It wasn't some abstract philosophical notion. This was the operational principle of their entire society.
Exactly. Ma'at really did permeate every aspect of ancient Egyptian life. The pharaoh was seen as the guarantor of this balance. The Nile was its very source.
Right.
And the people, they were all integrated into this eternal cosmic framework. It's not just order. It's a lived principle. Like even in legal disputes, they would often appeal to this idea of balance to find resolution rather than relying solely on a decree from the pharaoh.
That's so interesting. It provided them with a framework for understanding their place in the universe.
Absolutely. And their obligations within their community.
So let's talk about the pyramids. I mean, these monumental stone structures,
Incredible.
they weren't just impressive feats of engineering.
Oh, no.
They were tangible expressions of this societal structure and their understanding of time itself. I mean, think about the sheer scale and precision. It points to advanced mathematical skills and incredible national will.
Well, and what's fascinating to me is that these massive projects also tell us something about their understanding of time. They weren't just building for the present.
Right.
They were building for eternity.
That's right.
They consciously created structures that they believed would last forever. And it wasn't just about ego. It reflected a belief in cyclical time, their place in the grand scheme of things. And this is really different from the way a lot of people think today.
Absolutely.
Right? We're so focused on the short term. They had this long-term vision. And that was integral to their societal structure and their enduring impact.
So it's clear that ancient Egyptians weren't just masters of organization and construction.
Right.
They were also pioneers in fields that we consider fundamental today, right? I mean, science, medicine.
Absolutely. Their priests, yes, they had religious duties, but they were also some of the earliest astronomers.
Right.
Charting the movements of the stars. And they're scribes. They were historians, documenting everything that happened. But maybe most importantly, their physicians were among the first to study the human body and disease in a systematic way.
The Ebers Papyrus is a great example of this, right? It dates back to around 1550 BCE.
Right.
And it's basically an ancient medical textbook. It's filled with hundreds of prescriptions. And it really shows this early empirical approach to medicine.
It does. The emphasis on observation, documenting symptoms, and then applying specific treatments. It's a surprisingly modern approach.
Absolutely. And we also have archaeological evidence, like surgical instruments that look very similar to tools used today. It shows this continuity in medical practice across thousands of years.
That's right.
And their astronomical knowledge wasn't just theoretical.
Right.
We see it in the precise alignment of the pyramids.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredible, isn't it? And, if we think about the bigger picture, their understanding of mathematics and engineering engineering was also essential for practical things.
Yeah.
Like their irrigation systems.
Yeah.
I mean, those were vital to agriculture in the Nile Valley.
Right.
And their calendar system, based on the flooding of the Nile, that was a sophisticated way of organizing time. It shows a deep understanding of their environment.
So it wasn't just about grand monuments or treating illnesses.
Yeah.
They really valued knowledge itself, understanding the world around them, and preserving that knowledge for future generations. It's almost like they understood their place in the grand scheme of human progress, right?
I think you're right. They understood the power of knowledge and how important it was to pass it on.
Yeah.
And that drive to understand and document, that's really what sets them apart. And it's a big part of why their legacy endures.
Let's shift gears a bit and talk about their art and language. Because I think even today, Egyptian art has this quality about it. It feels timeless, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's like it exists outside of time.
Yeah.
And that's no accident.
Yeah.
Egyptian art reflects this deep preoccupation with eternity. They weren't just making pretty pictures.
Right.
They wanted to communicate across vast stretches of time, leave a lasting message for future generations.
And their writing system, hieroglyphs. I mean, it's not just writing. It's this incredible fusion of images, almost like magic spells and sounds, all woven together. Their writing system embodied their worldview.
Yes, it did. Hieroglyphs were filled with symbolism. Each image had multiple layers of meaning, connecting to their religious beliefs, their cosmology, their ideas about royalty. Art wasn't just decoration.
All right.
It was functional, theological, and they believed it had protective power.
And it's amazing how some of these symbols have persisted through time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the Ankh, the symbol of life, and the Eye of Horus, the symbol of protection. You see them everywhere today, right?
So jewelry, tattoos, all kinds of modern design, they've completely transcended their original context.
It's fascinating how these ancient motifs still resonate with people all over the world today. And you see Egyptian influences in architecture, in movies, in novels, in video games.
All over the place.
So Egypt's impact isn't just in the physical things they left behind. It's in the creation of meaning through their symbols and art, meanings that are still relevant thousands of years later.
Exactly. They created a visual and symbolic language that's incredibly powerful and adaptable. And it continues to shape our culture in ways that we may not even realize.
And it's also amazing how Egypt has been rediscovered and reinterpreted throughout history. It didn't just vanish and then suddenly get unearthed.
That's right. People have been fascinated by Egypt for centuries.
Yeah.
The Greeks and the Romans were deeply interested in Egyptian wisdom. Early Christians found refuge in some of their ancient temples.
And later, Islamic scholars documented the ruins and mysteries of this ancient land, preserving that knowledge through a different cultural lens.
Exactly. And then, of course, you have Napoleon's expedition in 1798. And that wasn't just a military campaign.
Right.
He brought along scientists and artists who documented everything.
That's right. And that led to the Description de l'Egypte, which sparked this huge wave of Egyptomania across Europe.
It really did. Suddenly, everyone was obsessed with all things Egyptian. Obelisks were transported to Western cities.
Mummies became objects of fascination and sometimes a little bit of morbid curiosity.
Right. And, of course, the discovery of the rosettastone.
Right.
That was transformative because it finally gave us the key to unlock the secrets of hieroglyphs.
And this rediscovery continues today, doesn't it?
It does. Modern Egyptology uses all kinds of incredible technologies to further our understanding.
Yeah.
Satellite scanning helps us find potential archaeological sites hidden underground. Artificial intelligence is being used to decipher ancient texts and reconstruct lost environments.
It's amazing. So our understanding of ancient Egypt is always evolving, always expanding.
It is.
It's this ongoing cycle of rediscovery and reinterpretation across different historical periods that has shaped Egypt's legacy.
And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
The way we see and interact with ancient Egypt isn't static.
Right.
It's constantly changing, influenced by our own cultures and technologies.
You know, when I think about all this, I wonder if part of the reason why Egypt still has this appeal, this hold on us, is because it represents permanence and order.
That's an interesting thought.
I mean, the world can feel so chaotic and ever-changing.
It can.
And maybe ancient Egypt offers this vision of stability and endurance that we find really compelling.
Yeah. It's like a counterpoint to all the uncertainty in our lives.
Yeah. I mean, their gods, often they embodied natural forces and aspects of human psychology.
Right.
And they offered a framework for understanding the world, the complexities of existence.
And their myths.
Right.
These grand narratives of resurrection, judgment, cosmic harmony, they still resonate with us because they deal with the big questions, don't they?
They do. Questions about life and death, about meaning.
Exactly. These themes of life after death, of being accountable for our actions, of the balance between order and chaos, these are universal. And of course, it's important to remember that modern Egyptians live among these incredible ancient sites.
That's right. It's not just distant history for them.
No. It's part of their present identity.
Exactly. And in a way, the echoes of ancient Egypt's vision, their wisdom, their ambition, that's what makes it timeless.
Absolutely. It's a civilization that, through its achievements and its symbols, still speaks to us across thousands of years.
And it offers insights into the human condition and this enduring search for meaning and permanence.
That's right.
Ancient Egypt was so much more than just a civilization in a history book.
It was.
It was a vision of lasting civilization.
Yes.
And its impact, it's woven into our art, our sciences, our philosophies, our imaginations.
That's right.
The legacy of Egypt isn't just old, it's timeless. It doesn't belong to the past, it belongs to all of humanity. It's not gone, it's not forgotten, it simply is.
It simply is.
Thank you so much for joining us on this final deep dive into timeless Egypt here on Beyond the Known. If you enjoyed this journey through the sands of time, please take a moment to like, follow, and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating corners of our world. We'll see you next time.